What is going on? It has finally rained, and I think it might have actually rained too much. We were in a drought for quite some time, no rain, and then finally it just dumped. And anyone that knows about dry land is when it rains and it rains heavy after no rain, it doesn't just all soak in. It just sits on top. It cannot soak in. It just does not disappear into the dirt like you think it would. And that is what happened here. So I actually have standing water in the corner of my drive, but you can see this. We have these washouts all over the place, all the way down the drive. So today, finally though, because it did rain and there's some moisture on the gravel, it's going to allow me to drag it and compact it and hopefully turn the driveway into something just a little bit prettier instead of all these little gullies and washouts all over the place. So we're going to go snag the tractor, and I think I still have the bucket on it from last time I was working with the tractor. So we can use the bucket to back drag kind of like the up front part of the drive where I cannot get the tractor. So I want to take this box off because what I found out is there's really no good attachment point on here. I mean, there's a little hitch sleeve that I can put a ball on at the very bottom, but to drag this drag around, it just doesn't quite work right. So I'm going to unhook my box here. What I am going to do though, then I'm going to hook up this. And this actually works very well for pulling my drag around. I can actually extend the chains out to the very far ends, and it allows me a lot of turning capacity. If I hook the chains directly to my drawbar, the whole unit and the chains are too close to the back of the tractor. So when I make a tight turn, the chains will catch the tires and get pulled up on top of it. So adding this on here just gives me a little extra length, and it worked out very, very slick. Now I can hook this thing back on. Now this is where a quick hitch would come in really handy. Because I pull this through here when I'm done at the end of my runs, it's actually turned around backwards now. So what I have to do is I hook up one side and basically just drag it out of here, and then it rotates it as it pulls. Then I just got to disconnect, rearrange the tractor quick, then hook both up, and we'll be able to rock and roll. So what I typically do is I can actually just wrap this. It has these like chain hooks here, but it's not wide enough or big enough to actually fit them in. And it's kind of freaking weird. So I wrap them. Actually, I don't even have to wrap them. I can pull one side like that, and the other side, I can do a little wrap if I want to kind of shorten it up. That way then the whole thing is at an angle, and when I pull, it'll pull all the rock and dirt from one side and kind of scrape it to the other side. honestly, other than the couple spots where there's water standing, I do feel like this is like probably some of the best wet gravel dirt mixture for dragging a drive. I can just see how much it's pulling. It's picking up just enough of the big rocks, the small dirt and stuff. And it's gonna really pack it in. We'll probably do a full, like, probably 2 good full there and back passes, and then 1 more at the end to kind of just fine tune it. We'll have to see. We kind of play it by ear, see how these little washouts fill in. Now this is where I was talking about it being a little too wet. When you have this much water sitting in a spot, so much dragging will only do so much. Even if I brought a rock pile over here with a loader, dumped it in here, it really wouldn't do that much because it would just soak into the mud and dirt. I actually have to wait for this to get dried out a little bit better than this, and then bring over some rock and kind of pack it in. So just not prime time. So this spot here is gonna stay kind of wet. It just doesn't drain very well because I got a bank right here, and I really probably should just take the loader and skim off about 4 feet wide at an angle, and that would help all this runoff because it's downhill past that point. Just seems to collect here. This is where I'll cut it in as close as I can, but I'll come back with a loader and back drag all this. Usually do just like a few figure 8s, and that kind of gets the gravel pretty well spread. We're gonna go ahead and do, I think, just 1 more pass. That first pass to the road and back, it moved a lot of dirt. I mean, you can see just how much back there. So we got a lot of coverage on there. The only thing that's really not looking the greatest is that corner with that water, but that kind of is what it is. And we got the puppy following us. So my first pass there and back, I was hugging the left side, trying to pull the rock from left to right, more towards the center. And then now on this second pass, I'm trying to hug the right side, try to grab the rock that's now in the center and pull it over to the right and fill those little voids on that side where the water was creating those channels. And on the way back, I'll do the same thing. I'll hug the right, so that way I'll get pretty much full coverage for the most part. All right, we are done dragging the drive. Now we just gotta go ahead and run up front where I was doing those figure 8s and use the loader. We'll just back drag it and use the float function. Just smooth all that out. So I've pulled all that gravel down to about this point, and I got a lot of work right here. So from all the rain and me back in the camper in there, and we got the garbage guy that comes there, he creates some pretty good divots. There's quite a bit of rock missing, so we're gonna drag some of this back and fill some of these voids too, right in front of the camper door. right, driveway is done. Picked up the little hitchhiker, headed to the barn, put this thing away. Calling today's video good. Hope you enjoyed it. See you all next time. Later.